Welcome to the football news, guys. Arsenal fans, this is for you. It's not for anyone else. To the Arsenal fans in there, allow me wish you a very good day. How was your day? Because it looks like you had a very long day in there. But this is Rokani David to this channel to bring you all latest information as far as the news is concerned. Now today, remember the first story that we need to do to this channel was informing you that Ben White had completed his had spent the whole day today at Colney at Arsenal to go in and do his so-called medical in there. He was at Colney in there, and I think that's where Arsenal, there is the training grounds in there. He did his first medical there, then he later went to a side which goes by names of Emirates in there to do all the rates and the last medical in there. And good news is that Ben White has passed his medical to Arsenal in there. So that is some good news in there, and I think Arsenal fans will be really excited to hear such a story of Ben White having passed his medical in there and everything is done. Paperwork has been signed, and now we wait for the final unveiling of a man who goes by the names of Ben White in here onto the football news, top 10s and life love story. Now remember, Ben White is a 23-year-old player that Arsenal has been chasing on, and they've sealed the deal of a £50 million deal for a man who goes by names of Ben White. Remember, the stages of Utd Transfer, it's the player who the player's agent really goes to the team that wants him. After agreed personal terms, they then proceed to what we call the team, and they ask the team, are you selling this player? And if the team says yes and the player says he wants to go, what is done? The team like Arsenal sits with the team like Brighton, and they really agree on the amount of money that they really want. Arsenal had already been told by Brighton that we wanted £50 million quid, and Arsenal really first put in two bids that were rejected. The first bid being for £40 million, the second one bidding for £47 million in there. But all in all, Brighton said, we are standing our ground, we are not letting our player go, but what we can do for you is that get us the money that we want, £50 million quid in there, and we'll get you the player who goes by the names of Ben White in there. And as we speak right about now, Ben White anytime is a Ghana, is going to be announced by the board. I think today's Wednesday, and I think Thursday, Friday, we might see a collusion of two announcements at the same time. Two defenders that people have been comparing in there. One who goes by the names of Ben White, and the other goes by the names of Raphael, who was announced by Manchester United after agreeing a deal in principle with the team which goes by names of Real Madrid in there. So we might see these deals collide, because I know one of the teams will wait for the other one to announce, especially Manchester United will wait for Arsenal to go ahead and do the announcement, because it looks like United really want to get that day as they did last Friday when they really took off the day with Sancho news all over. So to me, I think a man who goes by the names of Ben White is an Arsenal player, and after passing the medical, everything has been signed, paperwork, and the only thing left is to unveil him as an Arsenal player, and we are really waiting to see the best that really comes through from a man who goes by names of Ben White. Wish him the best at Arsenal, and you never know, playing at Arsenal is going to increase his chances to go into what we call the World Cup. Remember, the World Cup is going to be happening in Qatar next year. That is June. I think from June, it will be like June 4th, the first week of June to the second week of July in there. And I think lots of teams are going to be there. And Ben White, having really put on the waiting list of the players that we are going to go in the Euros, and blessing of a disguise to him, and Trent Alexander-Arnold got an injury, Ben White was brought into the England squad, and I think he's really going to be into that setup, because I think the likes of Kylian Trippier are hard to go into the World Cup if at all really the likes of Ben White really come through, because I think one thing that I'm sure of is that a team that goes by the names of England in the World Cup, they are not allowed to take 26 players. They are only allowed to take 23 players. So I see no way England is going to take like 4 right backs in there as they did in the Euros. Kylian Trippier, Alexander Trent-Arnold, Reece James, and Alexander. They took Kylian Trippier. They had taken Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, and Kyle Walker in there. Four right backs in there. That's what the man who goes by Southgate really did. He did that for one reason, because they allowed them to take 23 players, more 3 players were put into that squad, and the World Cup they only need 23 players only. So to me, those are 3 goalkeepers in there, and the other ones are supposed to be players, 2 players in each and every number. That makes it 22. That makes 22, and they add in 1 slot of a goalkeeper because one of the goalkeepers that you take might get an injury. Yet on the bench you're supposed to be having 2 goalkeepers in there. So that is something that is all about the World Cup. So Ben White, this is a very big chance that comes in at a very good time of Ben White, and I think he's really going to go to a team which goes by names of Arsenal in there, and he fights for his place. Because when you're at Arsenal, you are like, how can I term it? You are like a white dog or a white sheep, because each and every time you see a white sheep, white dog into the public, you very much know that it's easily visible. And the man who goes by names of Ben White has got this chance to be visible. The only thing he's supposed to do is one, let him really do the needful and play well, because I think he can do away with Mings. Mings can be off this list in there, because when you look at the central defenders that England took, Harry Maguire, Mings, they took John Stones, and who else is it? Which other central defender did England take? I think Ben White in there came through in there. So to me, I think when you look at this England squad, Ben White has given himself the best opportunity to compete to the squad that is going to go into the World Cup. And one thing I know about Gareth Southgate, he maintains his squad and he really loves young players at England, and him playing in Arsenal. Arsenal has very many fans than any other team in there. And when you look at, if at all he's left out, you will see what will happen at Arsenal. Players will come in and tell a man who goes by the names of Gareth Southgate, how can you leave Ben White? So something that wasn't there when he was in Brighton, because there is no pressure for a very good player being left out when he's playing for a team like Brighton, you get? But if at all you come to a team which goes by names of Arsenal and you really play your best, that we really expect you to be having in there, that really puts the manager on the risk and on a very high notice that this player has statistics that are good enough, and that means Mings can be left out. But I know they will take like 4 central defenders, Mings, Ben White, John Stones and Harry Maguire, those 4 in there. Watch them out, and he's increasing his chances also to start, because if at all Harry Maguire or John Stones really gets an injury, you never know. This time around it will be Ben White, because Ben White is really a very good defender. Though I've seen United fans sharing clips, or my fellow United fans have been sharing clips when Rashford really sat him down. But guys, who has not been sat down? The Rio Ferdinands of this world have been sat down. Nemanja Vidic, Sol Campbell, John Terry, Carvalho, Sergio Ramos, Puyol. I'm talking about the top world-class defenders in there that we've seen in the past years. Lucio for Brazil, the most calm centre-back I've seen each and every time I've ever watched football. Look at Thiago Silva, good defender in there, but he's sat down. Even Raphael Varane, one of the best in the world right now, he has been sat down a lot. So that isn't something to talk about, and it's not an issue, and that's not Ben White. Ben White really did his job, and when Rashford sat him 3 times, he really delayed Rashford to shoot that ball into the back of the net. So the problem that really led this to be an exposure is that the goal went inside. But if at all the fellow players of Brighton really had tracked back well, and they would have got back Rashford, because Ben White had given himself all in, sliding in 3 times in there to block Rashford to really shoot into the goal. So that is something, by the way, a defender like Ben White, I like him for one reason. He's not feared of getting ashamed. That's what he showed you, that Ben White is not afraid of getting ashamed. So he really gave out himself all to really see it that he delays Rashford from shooting that ball into the back of the net. And by the way, do you know that even when Rashford shot that ball, it deflected off Ben White to go into the back of the net? Do you know that? So it shows you how much he really put up himself. But the good thing is that Ben White has completed his medical at Arsenal, and he passes the medical, and now we wait for his official announcement at a team which goes by the names of Arsenal. So let's wait and see what comes through. Guys, welcome Ben White to Arsenal. We wait for the official announcement. I'm really coming up for another story of Fabrizio Romano giving us a story of Ben White completing his deal in there, what has been signed, the deal, the number of years in there. So we expect to come back with such a story onto this channel. Thank you guys for watching again. This is RD onto this channel. I'm Rokani David. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. This is none other than RD, and I'm out for now. See you later. A farewell salute to Arsenal. Welcome Ben White to Arsenal. What a signing for Arsenal. 23 years old. Not an injury-prone player. The only 2 games that he never played in the Premier League, he was given a red card and was serving a suspension, but he wasn't injured. Ben White is a deal for Arsenal, and we wait to see him play for that game against Brentford in there as Arsenal takes on that team in there. Thank you guys for watching again. It's always nice having you onto this channel. Great time to have you onto this channel. Thank you. I'm out for now. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.